everything that you ever want to happen is right on the other side of you quitting. You know, like, and so many people quit before they have that major breakthrough because like, I can't take it anymore. I can't do this. I can't, you know, and that's where the mindset thing like comes in like major play.
My man, Brad Dunn, how we doing, sir?
Doing great, man.
Bro, this is a special edition I Am Redemption. We're in a new little studio. We got you in town from California. Could not be more fucking excited to sit down with you, dude.
Thank you.
Thanks for fucking coming on.
Absolutely, bro. Anytime.
Hell yeah. So what have you been up to, dude?
Man.
You're a busy man.
Yeah. I mean, first and foremost, the business, you know, Reliant Fitness, family, husband, kids, all that stuff. We just bought a house. First family home, which has been super exciting and a massive blessing. So it's been a lot of fun, you know, just watching the business, the dream, the family grow and just continuing to ride the wave, man.
Right. So I know, I'm sure a lot of people follow you, a lot of people know your story, but just to kind of go back and like touch base on like what the catalyst for you was, because I know you and I both struggled with, you know, addiction, substance abuse, all that. So like back at your worst, like paint a picture for me. What did that look like?
Yeah, man. I mean, so, you know, full blown knucklehead, you know, drinking all the time, you know, using, I'd never really necessarily consider myself a drug addict, but I would do things if they were there, you know what I mean? If they were readily available, like there was little to no hesitation, but alcohol was definitely my demon, you know, and it was one of those things where, you know, I was good when I wasn't drinking. You know, I always held down a job, paid my bills, whatnot. But as soon as I started drinking, there was like no stopping, you know, and made a lot of foolish mistakes, you know, got rolled up with, you know, law enforcement a few times, a couple DUIs, you know, and fortunately, you know, nothing ever really gnarly came from it. Like dodged a couple years in prison, realistically speaking. And, you know, after, I don't know what, 15 years of kind of living that way, you know, I was like, dude, like I need to hang this shit up. Like I've gotten lucky a few too many times,
right?
You know, and now it's like, it's not just me. I got kids and shit. Like, you know, like I think one of the more pivotal moments for me, I had just gotten arrested, for something that had happened 5 days prior. And I was sitting in the interrogation room and I basically had to call my son and tell him that I couldn't come pick him up for the weekend because I was going to be in jail, you know? And that was kind of a moment of soberness. Like, you fucking idiot. Like you literally just told your kid you can't spend the weekend with him because you're going to jail.
Right.
You know? And fortunately it was just for a couple days, but you know, it could have easily been 2, 3, 4 years if they stacked everything together. And then that amongst a couple other things and like having a daughter, you know, when I found out I was having a daughter, I was like, really, this is really time to clean it up because I'm not the man that I should be, you know?
Right. Dude, I remember I was in the military and I was coming home on leave from Iraq and I had these grand plans. I'm going to go home on leave and I'm going to do something really nice for my mom. It's going to be her birthday. And so I get home and you know, I'm still a full-blown addict at this time. So I come home on leave, Iraq. My family couldn't be more proud that I'm home. And I decide I got all this money saved up because we've been over in Iraq. We can't spend it. So I decide I need to go get some dope right before her surprise birthday party. And I go over into the hood, cop some dope, and immediately drug task force scoops me up. So now I'm on leave from the military at wartime. You know what I mean? I'm on orders over in Iraq. And so if you don't come back on those orders, like you're a deserter. It's not good. And so here I am getting fucking locked up for heroin possession as a soldier, and then don't show up to my mother's surprise birthday party it was a double party for like me being home and the family. And then here I got to call my mom at 4 a.m. and it was like, yeah, I just got busted for heroin, but it wasn't my fault. I swear.
The famous words. Yeah. Wasn't my fault.
Dude, but it's moments like that, bro, that like, you know what I mean? They hit you in the heart, you know, especially for me, like when it comes to family, my mother, you know what I mean? The women in my life, that's the one that cuts deep. So when you say daughter, you know what I mean? All that stuff, I feel it.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's just like, You know, it takes time, obviously, for people to kind of reflect on their choices, their habits, their lifestyle. And I just kind of hit a wall with it. And I'm like, dude, I don't want my fucking kids seeing me like this or growing up and thinking that this is acceptable, you know? So I kind of had to turn it around. And, you know, simultaneously, like I made some big changes in my life because it was like an initial commitment to bettering myself and like committing to that fine line of like living better. And that's when I like made the decision to go be a firefighter, because I was like, well, that shit dies if I want to live this life, you know? And then, you know, obviously there's still that walk of life and everything. Obviously you were in the military and still had problems, you know? And so I found obviously those people in the fire service, and not that it was ever an issue for like duty or work, but it was like, you know, days off, you know, it turned into a thing, you know? And I'm like, okay, enough's enough. Like I got to drop this shit. I got to separate myself from everybody. And I really got to focus on what I really want the rest of my life to look like.
Right.
You know, because I don't want to get complacent like so many people I see in the fire service. I don't want to be the guy that's been there for 7 or 8 years and is 30 to 40 pounds overweight and fucking hates his job, you know? So I was like, fucking buckle it down right now.
Right. Dude, what is it? So for me, like, I didn't know this world existed where, you know what I mean, we could fuck up so bad and ever be able to use that to help other people.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, I didn't know that was a connection. And so once I got sober, and it just took me going out and like telling my story a couple times or speaking, and then you start seeing the effect that it has on people. I was like, oh shit, like this is a thing. Like I didn't realize we could do this. Like what was it for you that you turned your sights? Because I mean, dude, you're a fucking strong-willed individual. You got fucking discipline. I'm sure you can go out and do fucking anything. Like what was it that took you down the path that you're on now?
Well, it was basically, you know, once I kind of committed to that level of like personal development, like I talk about it with my client base and my follower base all the time, like making that trade, you know, and I traded like the reckless habits for like structure and discipline and like fitness and nutrition, because your mind and body is like a vessel, you know, and you can make it a vessel for destruction or you can make it a vessel for success, you know. And as many people like clown on like the whole fitness thing, it's like fitness and nutrition is the foundation of personal improvement, because if you are strictly improving upon yourself, then everything else will get better just almost by nature.
Yeah.
And when I saw how impactful that was for me in my own journey, like of not only, you know, getting it together, but dropping alcohol and like getting back in really good shape, I was like, dude, like I could easily help other people do this, you know. And I saw like the whole online coaching thing starting to get like prevalent, and I saw some of the people that were doing it, and I'm like, bro, I could do this, you know. And I could tie in obviously some of the struggles that I dealt with personally, you know, and go deeper than just like, hey, fucking look good, you know, because you know, I'm sure that you get it sometimes too with some of the stuff you share. Like people are just like clowning on you. Well, oh, obviously you just weren't a good drunk, or you just didn't have discipline with your fucking alcohol, or maybe you just fucking alcohol and me don't mix,
right?
You know, and that's for a lot of people. You know, as many people like, you know, sit quietly in the shadows and don't say anything. When I share anything about those, I always get messages from people like, dude, I want to get rid of it, and I don't know how. You know, and so obviously it's like, it's unnerving at first to step out and talk about all the skeletons in your closet to some degree.
Yeah.
But it always impacts people, you know, whether they come out right and say it or they message you behind, you know, a profile and like, hey bro, I saw your reel. It hit me and I want to make a change.
Right.
You know, and that was what it was all about, is helping these people basically identify that there's more to life than like just living on that bar stool and feeling like very absent and unfulfilled.
Yeah.
And I've been fortunate enough to like help a lot of people fucking get sober, get in great shape, and build a stronger lifestyle for themselves with something that doesn't involve that substance, you know, alcohol at the root of their daily, you know, whatever. Like that's what makes them tick, you know, and they fall into fitness and nutrition, and they fall in love with themselves again. You know what I mean? They have something to be proud of.
Yeah. I love, you know, there's a lot of things you say or the way you convey your messages, and it's very direct, very to the point. I'll never forget the one time you hopped out of the cold plunge and you said, "What's up, nerds?" Or you said something like that. And I was like, bro, it's such a breath of fresh air, because for so long, you know what I mean? Especially you live in Cali, I live in Austin. They're kind of liberal places. You got to watch what you say and all that stuff. But I feel like now it's like coming back to where it's like you can speak your fucking mind, not have to fucking worry about that.
Mm-hmm.
And so like I take inspiration from that, where it's like, why the fuck am I bumpering this shit? I'm like, that's not the way I talk normally to anybody like that.
Yeah.
But I think when you do that, it attracts the same type of people.
Absolutely.
And to see those dudes that are, you know what I mean? Like, you've built a fucking community. Like, that's what I'm actively trying to do, is build this community. But I see the guys that fucking follow you, the people that are in your community, and bro, like, they've gotten their life back. You know what I mean? They've gotten their life back, their family back, jobs back, all that stuff. So once you started building that and realizing, like, you started seeing that, like, yo, I could actually not just coach guys, but I could build a community, do events, do these things. Mm-hmm. Like, that's what you started to see?
Yeah. I mean, obviously I started trying to look at it bigger picture, right? Like more impact, you know, how many people could I realistically help? Where could I take this, you know, and also enjoying the process too. You know, like, you know, it's really easy for people to get caught up in like the social media aspect where it's like everything's likes, follows, engagement, this and that. And I'm like, fuck all that, dude. Like, that's a byproduct of me learning how to have fun with this, mm-hmm. you know? And obviously the more fun I have with it, the better the things do, because people see, you know, my attitude and how I carry myself. And there's no duality. Like, I'm not putting on an act, right. you know, and like that level of authenticity in this world is hard to find, you know? Like, especially in the online space, dude. Like, everybody wants to paint a picture, you know, and then you come to find like very little of it is true. Right. You know, and I'm just trying to be like, hey man, what you see is what you get, right. you know? Right. And that's all there is to it really at the end of the day, is like, just, I am very comfortable in my own skin mm-hmm. now, fortunately. And I want people to see that, you right. know, and obviously get to a point where they have the same level of comfort and pride and confidence in themselves.
Right. Yeah, dude, it's the coolest thing for me, like when I go speak, you know, I say it a lot, is, you know, all these things that for years I was so ashamed of, and you know, the things that I buried deep down, I didn't want anybody to know, are now the things that I'm fucking most proud of to stand in front of hundreds of people and talk about. Yeah. But it's because you did something with it. You know what I mean? You use it to help other people. It's not like I just run around saying like, yo, I was a crackhead, I was a dope fiend, or anything like that. But like, you're able to use that and then watch it, you know, and watch it change for other people. I went into 2 weeks ago, I went and spoke at a prison in Ohio, 2,300 inmates. And so, like, I've been to prison before, I knew what to expect, but you walk into a room where everybody's stone-faced, everybody's a gangster, everybody's tough, nobody's showing emotion. Mm-hmm. And I'm used to, when I go somewhere, you know, they show the movie or I speak or whatever, inevitably people, you know, they cry, they fucking laugh, all that kind of stuff. And so it was so cool to walk into that room and you see everybody stone-faced. And I was like, oh, man, I may not be able to get this room. And then as I'm starting to speak and I continue to go, like, I watched that whole fucking room turn. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And I see people start leaning in and softening up, to the point where at the end, people are coming up to me, like, with tears in their eyes, talking about their sentences or things they did or what they're thinking now. How can they better their life? Mm-hmm. And so it's like, man, like, I just feel so blessed to live in this world that we're able to do this. Yeah. We're able to take all this, like, I'm going back to prison, but I was invited this time. They want to pay me to go back just to talk. But like getting people to understand that this world exists. Like, you could take all that and do something with it. Yeah.
Well, you can, you know, you turn your pain into purpose, you know, and the thing that I try to tell other people, and even some of the guys I work with in coaching, you know, because everybody's like, well, what makes me special? Like, how am I supposed to connect with these people? You know, and I'm like, bro, your problems may seem insignificant to you, but if you have the confidence to speak on them and talk about them, like, your way out is somebody else's way through. Yeah. You know, and it may not seem like a big deal to you, and you're like, well, who am I? You know, but when you're able to relay that message and kind of show that contrast of like, I was and I am, mm-hmm. like, it clicks for a lot of people. Right. You know?
The thing you just said, what's so special about me, I was talking with a guy that I mentor, and he, great dude, great speaker, like, great everything and all that, but like, he doesn't understand, his story is not like, he hasn't gotten to the punchline of his story yet, right? And so like, mine was like, I think you want to find out what's special about you, like go out and accomplish something fucking hard. Go out and accomplish something you didn't think was fucking possible. Like when I went out and ran 100 miles, like I didn't know humans could fucking do it. And then I did it, you know what I mean? And so I was talking to him and he was like, oh, like he kept saying how he had OD'd. And I was like, bro, that's not the punchline. Like every addict's OD'd. Like that's not the thing. And so it's like trying to gear him, coach him without knowing I'm coaching him, but gear him towards going out and accomplishing, going out and getting a great physique, run a fucking ultra, like do something to where you get that, and then you'll start understanding. It's like I didn't realize, like I ran a 100-miler. It's a small percentage of runners that'll ever actually run a marathon, let alone an ultra marathon or a 100-miler. And so then you're like, oh wait a minute, like I'm capable of far more than I've been giving myself credit for.
Yes, and that's the thing is like when you commit to doing something difficult and you actually get to a level of achievement, whatever it may be, like you said, building a physique or some form of competition, whether it's running, bodybuilding, or anything in between, and you actually do it, that confidence that you get is huge, and I think what happens is, especially in people who are transitioning from a level of addiction to like seeing just how strong and powerful they are, they really identify like, man, like I can do this. And in the process of whether it's training or competition, like you have to you find yourself, like, cause you come to terms with everything that we used to run from and try to numb, and then it's like you get through the finish line or you get through the competition or whatever it may be. And it's like you, for the first time in a long time, and like head on took on those problems rather than turning and shying away from them, and I think that is a very profound experience, whatever you choose to compete or build upon.
Right.
Yeah.
I started saying it to people online, and it was just a saying. It just rolled off my tongue. Didn't really even think about it. But I said, the only difference between us and them is we don't quit.
Yeah.
And I kept thinking about that, and I was like, damn, like I feel very proud to say that because that wasn't always the case. But go out and run a 100-miler and no, I didn't quit for that. Now I go out and do stuff that is less than that. And it's like, I can't let myself quit.
Yeah.
And so now it's like, I know that about myself. Like anybody in here, I ain't going to be the one that quits. I'll outlast whoever it is. You know what I mean? Like it's an empowering feeling trying to get people to understand that. It's like people want to know, like, how do they build a following? How do they build a business like that? The only difference between you and that dude is you didn't fucking quit. And you kept going. Right. All the times when your wife was mad at you for being on the phone too much, or you're up late doing this or talking to a client or whatever like that, you just didn't quit. Yeah.
That's it. You just you show up and handle it. That's just it.
Right.
And it's some people like to throw in the towel, and everything that you ever want to happen is right on the other side of you quitting. And so many people quit before they have that major breakthrough because like, I can't take it anymore, I can't do this, I can't, and that's where the mindset thing like comes in like major play. Just having the will to like go, like Nick Bear, go one more, go one more step, go one more mile, go one more day, like, because you never know what's waiting for you on the other side. Right. And that's what I tell some of my clients. I'm like, dude, it may seem hard right now, like, but the hardness, like you're being tested. Right. Like you are being tested to see if you are worth what's on the other side. So every time it fucking gets tough and every time you want to quit, just think of what's waiting for you on the other side. Yep. And learn to lean into it, like learn to enjoy it. And I promise you, that mindset shift, that reframe will change your entire fucking life. Right.
I tell people I try to identify. I'm like, it's football season right now. What's the ultimate goal of every football team? They're like a Super Bowl. I was like, if you can identify what your Super Bowl is, what is the most important thing to you in this world? Yeah. If you know what that is and you know that's your clear-cut goal, then there's nothing that can stop you because it's the most important thing in the world. But for years and years of my life, I didn't know what the fuck my Super Bowl was or what was important. As soon as I did, I locked on and I went and got it. So it's like trying to tell people to identify that. Like at one time, my Super Bowl was, I would ask myself the same two questions. Is this going to help me stay out of prison? Is this going to help me stay sober? And it went for everything. Yeah. For the food I ate, whether I went and ran that day, everything. And it made me make the right decisions.
Yeah, and that's a huge thing, dude. And I think that's where a lot of people struggle is they don't know what they want. Like you hear all these people online, whether it's coaches, podcasts, whatever. Everybody's like, you got to find your purpose. You got to find your purpose, and people are like, well, what the fuck is my purpose? Right. And you have to really do some internal searching of like, what makes you happy? Yeah. What makes you feel fulfilled? And whatever that thing is that you could realistically do every single day, whether you make money doing it or not, like that is your purpose, you know? And when you can create goals that your actions and your lifestyle are in line with your purpose and in line with that goal, then that's like you are living, walking, breathing in your purpose.
Yeah.
You know? And that's the cool thing is like when people go from like day one, you know, and then they get a couple months in and then they're like, I see it now. You know, the lights, the switch flipped, they're all in, you know, their vision is starting to broaden and they're 100% in.
Right. We were talking about not quitting, and it made me think my wife had these grand, she loves decorating, she loves the holidays, and so she had this grand plan of decorating the whole front yard for Halloween. And normally I'm busy and I'm like, and I was like, all right, come on, we'll do it. And so she has this grand plan and she told it to me and I was like, babe, I don't think that's gonna work the way you're thinking it is. She's like, no, it's gonna work. It's gonna work. And so for like 3 days, bro, she's out there like trying to make it work, and I'm going out and helping her. She's getting frustrated. She was trying to put like what do you call them? Not balloon balls, fucking beach balls, like these little mini beach balls, and tape them to a PVC pipe, and then she was gonna put things over to make them a ghost. I was like, I don't think you're gonna be able to tape that ball and it stay on the pole, so it didn't. And so on the 3rd day, bro, she's mad as hell, and so she starts ripping them out of the ground. She's like, that's it, I'm done. We're not decorating. And she kept going on and on. And I was like, what are you doing right now? I was like, go in the house. And I was like, don't come back out here. I was like, we don't quit in this household. And so she was quitting. And I was like, you go back in and I'm going to finish this. And now every day when you come walking outside and you see this, you can think about how you quit like that. And then she's all mad and goes in the house. And then I start doing it. And she comes out 20 minutes later and it's looking great the way we got it. And she's all happy. And then she's like, well, you should. I'm like, no. You're a quitter. You don't got any more input on this. You quit. You're going to learn your lesson.
That's hilarious.
Do you have a moment, you know, your whole journey, everything you've been through, all the shit, did you ever have a moment where you kind of, something happened, you did it, and you took a look around and you're like, it was like your redemption moment where it's like, man, I did it. I made it.
I mean, yeah, a couple of them, but the first one that really comes to mind is, you know, when I left the fire service to do Reliant Fitness full time, and I made it like a full year, you know what I mean? On my own business, my own accord.
That's scary, dude.
Which
is
a scary jump. You know, especially as like, you know, most people would kill to be a firefighter, you know, and then here I am like hanging it up to go do my own business, which who knows what's going to happen. But not to, you know, make it one full year and continue to grow as a business and as a man, you know, and then just continuing to just kind of conquer these goals that I've set, you know, from that 1 year to like opening a gym to buying a house, you know, and like just all these things that are kind of encompassing just to show people what they could potentially do, you know, and I'm not trying to like be all flashy, but it's like, dude, the things that I talk about and the lifestyle I live like is a direct result of what I have now, you know, and make no mistake, like that is cold, hard proof. Like I firmly believe if I didn't change my ways that I would nowhere near be where I am right now.
Right.
You know? So that's the big thing is just every one of those little level ups. I'm like, man, I fucking actually did it.
Right.
Like, who would have fucking thought, you know, like, and me and my wife trip out, like, you know, we sit around and laugh, like, because dude, we went through hard times together.
Has she been with you through it all?
Through it all.
Oh, really?
You know, we've been together for almost 10 years.
Oh,
we've only been married for about 1, but we've been together for almost 10 years. And, you know, she's seen me at my, you know, lowest lows and highest highs. And we lived in a shitty ass fucking single wide trailer together for like 6 years.
Really?
That's like, you know, in all reality should not have been necessarily occupied,
right?
You know, but it was home and it worked for us at the time. It was cheap, but she was, you know, running back and forth from San Luis Obispo to Orange County with me to see my son, you know, and watch me bust my ass and barely make it through, you know, to pay child support, pay rent, pay all these things. And then our life now, you know what I mean? And it's just like, who would have fucking thought?
Right.
You know, like, dude, who would have fucking thought?
Right.
And it's not that I was never like not a hard worker, but I continued to derail all the good shit I always did because I would party super hard or not think that I needed to go the extra mile. Like that complacency had a strong hold on me, and like, you know, well, I work this week, I deserve to get fucked up this weekend, I deserve this, I deserve that, and that deserving mentality will keep you fucking stuck.
Yeah, for sure. The dude, the one thing you know, all your content and everything like that, dude, the one thing I do come away with is you're a hell of a dad, dude.
Thank you.
You're a hell of a dad, and you can tell the pride you have in your kids and all that stuff. And the one day you had your kid, he didn't go to school, so you're like, you had him on the mountain, get sweating or whatever like that. I was like, let's fucking go.
Yeah. I mean, and it's been a lot of fun, man. And, you know, I take a lot of pride in, obviously, in kind of how I father my kids. And maybe I am a little hard on them at times, but it's necessary in today's world. But yeah, you know, my son, he's same thing. You know, he's 10, you know, and I basically had him when I was like going through it, you know, or had some of my harder trials in that space. But, you know, we've kind of grown together in a sense, and it's been a lot of fun. But, you know, I do push him pretty fucking hard because I expect a lot out of him. You know, he comes from me. His mom's very strong-willed too, you know, so I'm like, dude, you have the opportunity to be just as great, if not greater than I am. So I'm going to push you to be that way, you know? And my dad was an amazing man, you know, so I had a really strong example of what that looked like. But at the same time, like, my dad never rode me, you know, and I wish he did, because I probably would have fucking got my ass in gear a lot faster.
Right.
You know, but I was always a strong athlete. He always supported everything I did. And even when I was fucking up, he's like, well, I can't tell you too much because you're still going to work every day and you're still paying all your bills. Like, I wish you didn't do that, but
right.
you know, like, you're still doing what's needed.
Right.
But I mean, even on that level, man, I mean, my son experienced a little bit of a traumatic injury at the beginning of the summer, and now it's like a whole lifestyle shift, you know. Now it's like he's going back to live with his mom for a while, you know, and dealing with that and all those emotions. And that took me back big time. Like, I was not expecting that, you know. And when he basically came to me and was like, you know, I kind of want to move back in with my mom for a little bit, that fucking fucked me up.
Yeah, I bet.
You know, and I just talked to my wife about it a bunch, talked to a couple of my buddies about it, and because I took it personal at first, because I'd like, you know, I was like, man, I fucking did all this and I did all that, I built up all this, and, you know, been able to give you this life now and do everything for you, you know, and now I feel like you're turning your back on me.
Right.
And then I just kind of had to like remove myself from the thing, like, you know, like, just because he's 10, he wants his mom, you know, and that's all it is about it. And he went through this whole thing, and he probably just wants some extra love and nurturing, and I'm not that guy. Right. You know, that's just not me, you know, so let him go where that's going to be the thing. Yeah. And I'll be here when he's ready to come back. Yeah. You know, so that's
the yin and the yang, right?
Yeah.
For sure.
Know, so that, you know, as much as I am like, and because that was a big part of it, dude, like, you know, obviously on social media, like my kids, and I show the fatherhood thing, and like, and I'm like, man, how the fuck is that going to look? And then I kind of had to just sit back and be like, fuck it. It is what it is, you know, like show what's really going on. You know?
And you did a video about it too. And that's, dude, you're the same dude I met, that I worked out with, that I fucking talked to. Like, you're the same dude all the time. And I'm the same way. And it's cool to see that, because like you said, everyone wants to show their curated fucking lifestyle, but that's the real shit. And what people don't understand, like, curated shit is whatever, but that shit, when you post a video that you're talking about, that's what draws people in, because that's what they identify with. Yeah, you know, and you know, just as much as I have some big wins, I have losses too. You know, and I'm not afraid to talk about them or show them, or moments of weakness, because that's life. You know, we all deal with it on different degrees. It's how we handle it that separates us. You know, we all are dealing with the same things, and that's a big part of why I kind of push in my group calls like twice a week. I'm like, hey, I want you guys to talk about what you're going through, because I guarantee there's going to be 10 other people on this call that are dealing with the same fucking thing. Oh, yeah. And you feel very alone in your problems, but you're not. We're all dealing with it in some regard, some degree, or someone's going to be able to relate to that directly. Right. And like I said earlier, you know, your way out is somebody else's way through. So talk about that shit. Right. Where did you get the idea? I got 2 questions for you. Where did you get the idea when you were waiting for your daughter for the school and you did the video about limbering up just to...
So actually wasn't for my daughter.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was actually when I was picking up my son.
Yeah.
So I've been getting in the habit of just trying to film.
For those that don't know, he set his phone up on the back of the truck outside of the school, and he's literally doing stretches, getting ready to. I forget how you put it, but it was hilarious.
It was just a caption that said, does anybody else, stretch out at, before school or kid pick up, drop off in case you got to trash the boyfriend. And it was actually a joke geared towards my son's mother's, flavor of the week,
right.
But yeah, because right now we meet halfway, on the 5. So we get on, right by the Grapevine, and I usually will get there 10, 15, 20 minutes before her. And sometimes I'll stretch because I don't like sitting in the truck for hours on end. It's like a 2.5 hour drive either way.
Right.
And I've just been trying to get in the habit of like filming little random clips of the shit I do and repurposing it as content. And I just came up with that little caption because I thought it was funny.
That's fucking smart.
And yeah, and a lot of people thought it was hilarious. Some people took it a different way, but yeah, it had nothing to do with my daughter or school pickup, but it could easily go that way too.
It was way funnier. It was way funnier to be that way. You were saying you were a good athlete growing up. What was your sports?
So my very first sport was hockey. I played roller hockey.
Oh, really?
Yeah, played roller hockey for several seasons. Then rolled into soccer like most kids, and then I really clicked with football. Football was like my jam.
Linebacker.
Yeah, I played linebacker and fullback. That was my shit. Did
you wear the cowboy collar?
No.
No? Oh,
I never got into it.
I could see you in the Mike Allstott cowboy collar for sure.
Well, I mean, Mike Allstott was probably my favorite football player.
Is it?
Yeah.
He was that dude.
Yeah, he was definitely that dude. I showed my son a clip of him the other day, and I'm like, this is the fucking guy.
Yeah.
They don't make him like this anymore. Nah. And I showed him the little highlight reel of him just fucking trucking people. Because he plays the same way I did. He loves contact.
Hell yeah.
He's not afraid to hit people. And, when I played, I was one of the smaller kids on the field, but I would fucking hit you like I was 3 times my size. So yeah, I played football up until high school, and I hit like a late growth spurt, right? So I was, one, kind of intimidated to go out and play high school ball because I was considerably smaller than everybody else. And 2, I came from a very winning program, and our high school football team sucked, So I transitioned to lacrosse.
Okay.
And because it's more technical, it's more finesse, so the size thing wasn't like a huge defining factor.
Right.
And then I played lacrosse basically 8th grade through high school and even into college.
Right. I'm pretty diehard for my team, but Mike Allstott is one of the only jerseys of another team that I ever wore. I remember in high school having his jersey, and I thought I was fucking tough. Mike Allstott was that dude.
Hell yeah.
I remember in I think I was in 8th grade, and we played, Maurice Claret? So we were playing Maurice Claret's team. And all I know is we were getting ready to play his team, and we kept hearing about this dude who was in the Junior Olympics for track. And I played safety and wide receiver, and I'm like, he ain't got shit for me. He ain't got shit for me. And so first play of the game, he bounces around outside, and I go, me in the corner, we both get him, fucking tackle him, and I get up and I'm talking shit. I'm like, it's going to be a long day. It's going to be a long day. Very next play, same shit. Bounce around to the outside. I go, and I'm like, I got him this time. And I'm like ready to go spear him. And I remember leaving my feet. And I remember that I knew that was a mistake immediately because all I saw was the ground, and then I saw like a blink of just and fucking 90 yards gone. And that was just like that the rest of the day. I remember my coach. I had fucking grass coming out of my helmet. My coach coming on the fucking field, grabbed me by the face mask, like, go pick up your fucking jock strap back there. And I was like, Maurice Claret's a bad motherfucker, dude. That boy ran all over us. But then I was delusional and thought basketball was like my calling, completely neglecting that I was white and couldn't jump. And so we know that didn't end up working out. But dude, it's crazy. When I was young, and when I'm sure you were young, like, we were outside all the time. That's all we did was play sports. That's it. We go to other towns, ride our bikes, go play football over here, basketball over here, and all that. And I can remember like running through a neighborhood in the past year and seeing 2 kids out throwing a football, and I almost like tripped and fell over and was like, their kids still fucking do that. Like you just don't see it anymore.
Right.
But dude, the structure and the discipline and everything you actually like learn from those sports is it's huge.
100%.
Huge.
100%. That's why I have like my son in sports like year round. I mean, that discipline and that structure shaped me. And some of the kids that I played ball with, even in Pop Warner, I still talk to.
Oh, really?
Still talk to, you know, on a pretty regular basis. So those are like lifetime friendships, you know, and some of my fondest memories too. Yeah. One of my buddies that was like, he was my quarterback, and we're still buddies. Our dads were super tight. Both of our dads have passed away since. He actually like mailed me a couple flash drives of our old game tapes, dude.
Really?
So sick. So sick.
You got to release the clips. You got to release the highlight reel of you Mike Allstott.
I don't think anybody else would get a kick out of it nearly as much as like me or maybe my son. But I mean, maybe I'll have to put a little sprinkle out there.
Bro, people seeing you on Pop Warner football, they'll go crazy. There's a clip in the documentary of my story, and it shows me in like 4th grade basketball. But bro, this is, you know what I mean? I'm 42 right now. So back then, shorts were, it was like the short shorts where you'd have to wear like the little biker shorts underneath just to make them longer and stuff. But
yeah,
it's me running out there in these little Dunns with the short shorts. But yeah, dude, that looking back on life, bro, those summers were like riding bikes over to other places, or do they do 3-on-3 tournaments out in LA or out in California?
Probably, but I couldn't tell you, man. I don't pay much attention to basketball.
Fucking, I grew up, basketball was my thing. Once NBA kind of went political, then I kind of got out of it. But I don't understand like 3-on-3 tournaments. Like I used to live all summer and we'd travel to all these different cities and play these 3-on-3 tournaments and travel around with them. But like I look back on that, I was like, dude, life was so good back then.
Yeah,
so good. Did you ever have you ever urged him to get in any like jiu-jitsu or anything like that?
Yeah. So he was in MMA for a while. The jiu-jitsu thing, like solely jiu-jitsu, I think is a little slow for him.
Okay.
Because he's very high speed,
very
very aggressive.
He wants to hit motherfuckers.
Yeah, oh yeah. So like, fortunately there's a great program like in our town called the Pit, and it's like it's a different location but same practice of where Chuck Liddell came from.
Really?
So they specialize in like Muay Thai, wrestling, and jiu-jitsu. And it's great because even in the kids program, like the youth program, like they're striking. They have an MMA day or a Muay Thai day where they're headgear, gloves, shin pads, and they're going at it. And he loved that, and I loved watching it. You know, so he would go in between like football and lacrosse season. He would be in MMA 3 days a week.
Good shit. If I had a kid, I'd push him to get into that for sure.
Well, the confidence it brings to like be able to like defend yourself is huge.
Right.
Huge. Because I did karate from the time I was 5, and then basically transitioned into like team sports. And then once MMA hit like hard when I was probably like 16. And so we started doing jiu-jitsu, we started doing kickboxing, we started doing all those things. And even in like an organized fashion, like very loosely. But once I got like in a gym, like I loved it. Right. I basically trained under the same guys from the time I was like 18 till I was like 23.
Hell yeah. So staying on the MMA topic, this is my favorite question. I ask it every podcast. Hypothetically speaking, tonight, you're walking out for the UFC Heavyweight Championship of the World. What is your walkout song?
Oh, my walkout song?
Yeah.
Dude. I would probably walk out to Iron Man.
Can't go wrong.
Huge Black Sabbath, huge Ozzy fan.
Can't go wrong.
I think that song just always hits.
Yeah.
That or Can You Hear Me Knocking?
Good one.
I just, the opening riff to that just fires me up.
Both good ones. Very good ones. So, bro, I wish I could sit here and talk to you all night, but fucking we gotta wrap up. So the way I always like to wrap up the show, people have heard a little bit of your testimony. Everybody knows who Brad Dunn is. But if you'd be willing, if you take a look in your camera and maybe throw out a couple I am statements that tells the people who you really are. It could be I am Reliant Fitness, I'm a bad motherfucker, I'm a dad, whatever you want.
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously, first and foremost, my name is Brad Dunn, and I am Reliant Fitness. I am sober. I am fit. I'm proud. I'm a father. I'm a husband. I'm a business owner, and I love helping people improve upon themselves. And I'm here to continue to do so. So I appreciate you having me out here.
Yep.
You know, if anybody wants to follow me, tune into my stuff, you can find me at Reliant Fitness on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook even. But Instagram's like powerhouse platform. So that's where I'm posting the most consistently. And if anybody's looking for help, I mean, reach out anytime.
Absolutely. I concur. And bro, you're a bad motherfucker, dude. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
The time we got to spend when I got to come out and work out for you. We're here in Austin now. I'm fucking super excited to have you. We got the Redemption Weekend coming up. We got a live show tomorrow. So I'm honored to have you here. Thanks for making the trip, and thank you for sitting down tonight, dude.
Absolutely, bro. Pleasure to be here.
Appreciate you, brother.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.